Hey everyone, welcome back. Wanted to do a quick review of my Gosen S5 electric bike. Bought it on Amazon. They run about $1,100, $1,200. I'll put the link to it down in the description below, as well as some of the upgrades that I've made to this bike, which I'll kind of go through here shortly to make it a little bit easier if you're riding it. I found that there's some things on it that could definitely be improved, but for the value of this bike, you're really not going to find much better. It has a lot of nice features on there, which I'll kind of go through. To kind of start you off, you have a 750 watt amp or 750 watt motor, I should say, and it's a beefy motor, as you can see there. It's about twice as thick as the Ride1Up Cafe Cruiser 750 watt Fang mover motor that I have. So it does have a lot of torque to it, which is nice, and a lot of people it takes a little bit to get used to. But as you can see, it comes from the factory out of the box. It's set up for a two-seater. I did replace the seat on there, so that's an aftermarket seat. And again, I'll put the link to all these products down in the description below if you want to check them out. But a 15 amp hour battery, which is kind of nice. It charges in about 5 to 6 hours on the charger. You're able to get about 20 miles out of throttle alone. And then with passenger system, I'll be able to get maybe 40 miles out of 50 miles if I push it a little bit further. So we have a 7-speed gear system set up here by Shimano. It's got the 20 by 4.0 4-inch wide tires, so you get a lot of grip to the road, which are pretty standard for these little folding e-bikes. And this is a folder. You can see it has the brackets down here, right there to fold it. And we also have a bracket on the stem here to fold. The back end has those, you can see there, passenger footrest there, which is kind of nice. And the real thing I like about this bike is it does have a lot of protection around some of the major components, such as here. And then down here, there's also a bracket that kind of protects the bottom of the bike. So a lot of good protection with this bike, which is nice. It has mechanical brakes on it, which is, it's okay with me. I guess between a mechanical and hydraulic, I really don't see too much of a difference. I have hydraulics on my other bike. The pedals do fold up when it is in a folding mode. I believe you just push it in here and fold it up. Get a little bit more compact if you got to put it in the back of your car. The front suspension is a fork suspension. It works okay. If you really go on some off-road, you do have a lot of vibration coming up through there, and it's not as stiff as you'd like when you push on the brakes. Sometimes you do get some vibrations because it is a cheaper fork system, but it is suspension nonetheless. And you can see there's got a front light, LED, front brakes. I twisty-tied the cords around here because it's a little messy sometimes when you got the cords just hanging around. On the handlebar, I did replace the handlebar. It came with a straight handlebar, which is easier to use when you're in the folding mode, but when you're riding, it gives you less ability to hold on to it. So I bought this one off Amazon. It was like 20 bucks. Very easy to replace all the components on there. You just got to unscrew things and put them back onto the new one once you get it onto the fork here or the stem. So not too bad. We have a side mirror, which I really like. It adds a lot of safety to the bike here. You get the brake controllers. We have the plus and minus for the passenger assist. From the factory or out of the box, it does come with 0 to 5. I actually put it up to 0 to 9 with about a 10% increase over each of those levels. Found that was a lot easier to maintain a desirable pace in the particular gears that I was in, or the speeds that I was in, from around 12 miles per hour to about 18 miles per hour. I did unlock this computer, which is actually not that difficult to do. I have a tutorial up for my Ride1Up Cafe Cruiser, which is pretty much the same process. You just go into the advanced settings and decrease the speed limiter setting, which will allow you to get this bike up to about 30 to 32 miles per hour, depending on the particular level terrain that you're on. So one of the other upgrades that I made was this phone holder, which is completely adjustable. This is one of the better companies I found for phone holders. I believe it's G-Hub or something like that. And they do a really solid job. This is all aluminum, and it doesn't move. It's very solid, holds the phone very nicely. We have a 7-speed shift transmission here, or gear system here, which you can just do with the thumb, which is really nice. It has a twist throttle, which I believe is a full twist, not a half twist. And the rear brakes there. The stem you can increase the size on. You can raise that up if you need to and push that higher in the air if you're a taller person. I would say you're probably going to be between 5'6" maybe and 6'2", 6'3" would be the max height for this particular bike. The particular seat that comes with it really sucked. The suspension post, it did have one, it didn't work very well. I replaced it with a, I think it was about $90 here, but this thing makes the world of difference for riding this bike. Since it is a hardtail bike, has no rear suspension, this particular thing just makes riding it such a breeze. You feel nothing. It's like a cloud when you got it on there. So it's a really nice seat post, suspension system if you're looking for something to mitigate all those bumps on the road. I also bought a nice, really comfortable, oversized seat for it, which kind of was going to test out here, and come to really like it. So, you know, I really like these oversized seats. They're much more comfortable for long distance rides. As long as you get the right style and format, size, that kind of thing, you don't really mess around with your riding abilities. So that's kind of nice. It does have a removable battery. Didn't mention that earlier with the batteries, but you have a key here that you can turn it on, off, and lock it. Key comes out so you can take the battery out and charge it in the house if you want. It takes about 5 to 6 hours to get a full charge out of it. And that's about it for this bike, guys. Overall, really nice bike. I like it a lot. I use it to go to my work and back quite frequently, save myself a lot of gas going across town. Kind of a more moped style, and you can kind of get in with traffic a little bit more because it's got torque, that kind of stuff, more so than a lot of other bikes on the market with this type of 750 watt motor. So it's a nice kind of cross utilitarian bike that you can have. We'll do a quick speed test here. I'll show you how fast you can go. Well, this is about as flat of terrain as I can find around my kind of local area here. So we're going to see what we can do to get up to top speed on this thing, how fast we can do it. With pedaling, this is just throttle alone. It looks like we were able to get about 29 miles per hour there pretty easily, and I don't know what the time was on it, but as you can see, fairly quick for an e-bike of 750 watts. And if I was to do the passenger or pedal assist along with that, it would be a little bit faster. It would just make the video probably unusable for me holding it at the same time. So you kind of get the picture anyway. This is a nice bike, Gosen S5. I highly recommend it if you guys are looking for an e-bike at a budget price. This is the one to do it, and with some of these upgrades that I made to it, makes it much more rideable if you're going to be using it as a daily rider, that kind of thing, or even just a kind of a fun type of bike. The curved handlebars here is one of the things I would highly suggest just because of the control, safety, that kind of thing. So check out the description below if you want to see the products listed here, the bike itself, and subscribe, like, share if you like the video, and until next time, take her easy.